Welcome everyone to Life Sciences Living Room Conversation. We are in episode 55 and today I'm your host. My name is Britta and I'm very much looking forward to this conversation today. And yeah, we believe with these conversations that we have here today, we can bring some inspiration to your living rooms as well, motivate you on also starting to act and maybe shape the world out there, and especially the working environment world. And what we really hope is that you take something of that inspiration home for yourself and also for the people that are around you, to look a bit more into how we work together and what we want to shape differently. Thanks also for everyone who's tuning in from somewhere else, like YouTube, just watching us. Feel free to put some questions into the comments so that we can also address those. And let's jump right back into it, and let's have Haluk introduce Haluk here with us, who's joining us in this episode. And we are talking about Latro's transformation because Haluk is the owner and founder of Latro. And he actually, one thing that he did straight in the beginning was to fire his own boss, and that was him. And that will be a very interesting story. But before that, let's welcome him here at the show and let him introduce himself a little bit, tell us a bit about yourself as well. Welcome, Haluk.
Hello. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. And thanks for organizing this. My name is Haluk Canhur. I'm the founder of Latro. I'm a chemical engineer, 44 years old, father of a beautiful girl. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do have this chemical business as with Latro and some other startups in machinery industry, and the last one is in software. I started working in a chemical company after school for about 9-10 years, and I founded this company Latro, became an entrepreneur, and I really enjoyed this journey. So that's why I continue to do that. I am a member of Entrepreneurs Organization. It's the largest organization of entrepreneurs in the world, and I'm also the European area director in the organization. So I do love, again, from the community perspective, also love being in this ecosystem of entrepreneurship and startups. I'm an angel investor. I also do love to be a part of the other startups as being investing them and also being mentoring to the founders. And I like to be in their journey too. This is more or less who I am. I love doing sports. I'm a kite surfer. I do love sailing, snowboarding, and yes, some other sports that I used to do, but with the age, I guess it's not that much.
It's
much.
Topic. Yeah. I had this question in mind. What brings you out of bed in the morning? As a personal question. What you shared that you have a daughter. I'm not sure how old she is, but then maybe she supports you getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, she's 12. She's 12. Yeah. She's a big friend of mine. I just love to hang around with her on everything. So she's a good friend of mine.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks a lot for sharing also a bit of your personal side. And of course, what we are mostly interested in is in this transformation journey that we have heard about. And I think in the description that I read about you, it said that you fired your own boss, and that was actually you. And this is a very interesting thing that you did, I would say. So how did this all started? How did you go into this? Why did you start going that direction, and how did you do that?
Yeah. I guess everything is starting from the personality. I never liked this hierarchical system in school, in families, or in companies, for sure. So in my professional life or in the beginning of Latro, I never liked to, this relationship of hierarchy, having someone to report or having people to report to you. I was always thinking why we are not talking about the what we need to do, actually the actions, and instead we are discussing about who's gonna give the orders to whom and who's gonna give the reports to whom. So I always found it very meaningless. And in the beginning of Latro journey, also we never had a real hierarchical system, but still we also didn't have any other alternative structure. So within this mindset, I was searching for what else to do, and the agile world was, interesting for me. In agile with the teams, it's kind of more, or let's say less hierarchical, and more with the teams management. So within this interest, I started to, try to understand it, and I started to contact with one of my very close friends, Mehmet, who is also really the, let's say, the real hero on behind this story. That I was talking to him that how we can really apply the agile and without any hierarchy, and he gave me a book. So the book was, as you know, and that is from Frederick Laloux, the Reinventing Organizations, and that has changed my life. And after reading the book, I contacted him back and I said, wow, I love the idea. Okay, now forget about the agile now. What about self-management in Latro? So he, thanks God that I had him, that he and Burak, another colleague, they joined to this transformation. And we spent now close to 2 years on this transformation heavily, and we try to make it happen, which a lot of people were saying it is impossible to do it in this geography, at least. I mean, because in Turkey it's quite hierarchical. The not only the business but also the families, the schools. It's quite a hierarchical approach, hierarchical mindset, and the people were saying it's quite impossible to do it here. But at the end of this 2 year, I think Latro is one of the very best example of a teal organization, according to the Laloux's book, or one of the great example of a self-management, or one of the great example of decentralized autonomous organization, DAO. So it's really running itself with the teams without any person in charge or without any hierarchy at all. So this is the how it comes to the point. And I think one of my, again, personalities, I don't really afraid going into a place which is out of my comfort zone or which is not the other's touch. I kind of enjoy it. If others are not doing it, I like to do it. So it's I love challenging. I love being challenged. I think I'm kind of a rebellion. I don't know.
That sounds very good. I think what many people, I mean, maybe the audience who's watching already heard a little bit about Frederick Laloux, about teal and self-organization, but it's like often so theoretical. So how do we get there? So what is the first step that I need to take? There are so many things to consider, also depending on the size maybe of the company. I'm not sure how big was Latro when you started, and what were really the first steps that you took to get there?
Yeah. Okay, I think the first thing that is a need, by the way, we were 35 people, and it's not about the size, not the small, big size, or maybe it might be easier for a smaller company for sure, but I think it's not the first thing. The first thing is the mindset. Mindset means self-management is not yet another way of organizing company. It is a philosophy. So when I was saying that I never believed in hierarchy, it wasn't about running a company. It was about a mindset that I don't believe a person should be running something and be over everybody else. So first, you need to really a big believer of collaboration or collective mindset. So today, I'm having, like very difficult times last 2-3 days. What happened in Turkey, and it was my hometown, Gaziantep, what happened, the earthquake. And it's another case that shows us the world has to become really, has to solve problems collectively. And the hierarchy in politics, in governments, in companies, in families, in education, for me, is the main problem that is causing a lot of issues. So if you have this mindset, if you are a believer of collective approach, collective mindset, if you are a big believer of the humanity can do it, if you can believe on people, that's where you start. So it's not yet another organizational model that you choose from. It is a complete philosophy. You have to trust people. You have to trust the intelligence of the crowd. You have to trust that as a group of people can really be good, can really make good decisions. And it all starts from there. And the ego in the people are really a big stopper for this, because our egos are telling us that it's not going to happen with the people because we don't trust people. We don't trust person by person. And when you start trusting people, when you start thinking that the problems can be solved only by a collective approach, then I think this is the biggest step. Then the rest is very easy, because whatever you do, you have this very simple mindset that you trust people, you trust their decision power, but again, as a collective, not person by person. So I didn't empower anyone. So I didn't trust XYZ person. I trust the whole. So the intelligence of whole, the decision-making power of whole. So you gotta trust this. When you do that first step, I think is the 90% of the process. Then you just apply it every step that you take. You trust people. And again, in the book, it's clearly mentioning the transparency. The trust brings transparency, radical transparency. So in the first step, you have to be a believer, or you have to understand that you have to open everything to the people. So you have to be transparent, radically. Everything, what you earn, what you spend, what is going on, every single P&L, numbers, financial reports, whatever. Even in Latro, the salaries are open to people, so they can see each other's salary. So the radical transparency is one another thing that you have to believe on, and you cannot really decrease the level of transparency. It is radical. It's 100%. There is no 80% transparency. So this is the thing. And one another thing, again, it's clearly mentioned in the book. I think the book is like it's something else. The purpose. And it was saying that the importance of the purpose is being told a lot. But yes, as a group of people, if you are believing to go to same direction together, you're going to have a purpose. So you have to make sure the culture, the purpose has to be there with strongly. And I think the last part, for again, it's a big first step. But if you see in this first step, there is no action. It is just behavior. It is just beliefs. It's just personal beliefs. So the last one is willing to share, because when you have all these things in the box, when you want to run something autonomously together with everyone, and if you believe in collectiveness, and if you're gonna open everything to people, radical transparency, but then you need to share it, because you are sharing all the responsibilities, and everything is going to be done in the company. Then you got to share the benefits. You got to share the income. So these are the things that you need to have, again, like Radical transparency, I'm okay to share. I do believe on collectiveness. I do trust on people. Then within this, the actions comes afterwards. For sure, there is kind of a roadmap that we took, and I am happy to explain here. But I think this part is more important because on the roadmap, if you don't have these beliefs, don't have this mindset, it's going to be difficult. And I'm talking about, by the way, full self-management. Reducing the hierarchy is something else, because in my speaks, it sounds like for the companies, for the people, it is impossible for us to go there. And I don't like this idea, because I'm not trying to convince anyone to go completely to self-management, because I know it is difficult. I know it is not possible for everybody. But at least I want people to inspire to bring this to their organizations, to have less hierarchy, to have more transparency, because I'm trying to show a level of a very high teal organization, or for completely autonomous organization, so that the people can believe that they can step up from the level that they are.
Yeah, I really like what you're saying, that also to say this, it's not black or white. It's not you either have to go the full way or you're not going at all, but it's also there's so many shapes in between where you can take little steps in different directions, create more trust, create less hierarchy, try to delegate more, empower your people, and these kind of things. They're all different small steps, of course, in between that people can take, and there's a wide range to see that. And it's awesome to have these also companies that really fully go into it, like yours, to see also the inspiration that it can bring us. And when you are wondering, I was wondering, when you are sharing about the trust, was this already there with the 35 people? Did you all have the right mindset kind of to fully go that way? Or did you also, like, what were things that you did really to get this trust, to get the mindsets there? Or were also some people there where it just didn't fit anymore with this new model that you wanted to try to implement?
I mean, for sure, not everyone fitted. So yes, we had to, just say that we have different ways now. So everybody took their own way. The people who are not believing in this mindset. But I was very lucky, and thanks to everyone. Again, here I want to thank the people in Latro, that the natural leaders, we call them natural leaders, the people who were already there, who was leading the things, they believed very, very quickly, and they really made transformation easy because they believed it. They really worked for it. Most of them, like 90% of them. And I was very lucky in this one. So thanks to them. But yes, you are right. It is not, again, for everyone. And I don't think it is right or wrong. It's personality. It's not everybody believes on everybody. Not everybody believes on the collectiveness. Not everybody believes on radical transparency brings benefits. They have some other worries, which again, I don't blame on anyone. It is not a right or wrong thing, but it is their approach, their mentality. So in that period, in the beginning, the people tried to understand, and some of them really, were already had that mindset, so very quickly jump on it and really become the hero of this transformation journey. But some of them said, "Okay, goodbye, I'm leaving." So it is normal. And today, still, when new people joins to Latro, sometimes from outside they see a very good picture, complete, big, how to say, incredible freedom. Because in Latro, everybody decides about their holiday, their, what time they come, what time they go. We don't even talk about hybrid. We don't talk about office or remote, because everybody makes their own decision as a team. So from outside, it sounds amazing, like it's a big freedom. But when they come, they also realize the freedom brings a huge big of responsibility. So we also had to, live with a lot of people during this road. Even the new people, when they join in a couple of months, they said, no, this is not us. It's not easy. I tell you, yes, when I talk about Latro, it sounds amazing for most of the people, because again, just, like in this inflation period, they had decide their own salary increase as whole ecosystem twice. They had decide about their, again, the what time they need to come, what time they need to go, what the holiday time, the holiday days in the week, whatever. Like, they decide everything, and it's an amazing, thing to, get. But there's a big but. They also need to take care that this system has to go and has to grow, and this system has to back their needs. So the responsibility comes strongly with the freedom. And I'm jumping to another subject, sorry, maybe, but because today, again, psychologically, 90% of my mind is in the earthquake. But with even in these issues, the problem, the earthquake we are facing in Turkey, unfortunately, not only in Turkey, all over the world, it's the same problem. The very deep hierarchy causing that the people we are not taking the issues collectively. We all are, like, the people are expecting the things from the managers or the hierarchical upper level, and the upper level has another things. So it is not like collectively we are managing this big problem. And again, for both sides, it is wrong. From the upper management side, it is good for their ego, they feel big, they feel good, all like politicians in the world, it's the same. And they like that position. And for the people, they also like that, because they don't complain. They only say, okay, why don't it's coming not to us? Why it is a problem? Why this? So what I'm saying is self-management is, I think, bringing these two parts together and taking the ego from the upper management, but also giving the responsibilities to the people, to the employees. So the responsibility is being shared. Also, the decision making is being shared. So within this mindset, that's the way that how we can solve the problems. And most of the problems today we are facing as a world is we cannot solve it because we don't act collectively. Think about the climate change. If we don't act as 8 billion people, it is not possible that the politicians or the governments or whatever the communities, they cannot solve it, because it is a problem that needs to be solved with 8 billion responsible people. So it's just like that. So
everybody has to take their part, and everybody takes their part and the responsibility, and then it's also not so heavy for just a few people, but it's really like sharing this responsibility and accountability. And also, like, I also experienced like stepping in a self-organized company. Sounds always fun, but it also comes with a lot of responsibility, accountability, and also so many possibilities, things to do, and then to stay focused, sometimes very challenging. We have a very engaging community here as well, and have some questions in the chat, which I would like to address. So one question that I see is, did any experiences in life or your early career contribute to your path of self-management? So is there some kind of also history or career that led you to the path of self-management, or do you see it more really in the mindset part, what you were already sharing?
This question came to me before. I cannot really point out any specific, happening. I don't remember anything from the past, but the freedom was a very big word for me. And by the way, my surname is Freedom. So here in Turkish means free, a person who is free. So the freedom is kind of my big value. So the self-management brings a big freedom, that's for sure. And freedom, again, not only for the employee side, but also the CEO, C-levels, or the boss side. So I got my own freedom. I believe in the existing systems, nobody is free. Not the employees, because they have receiving orders from the upper management. But I tell you, even the boss is not free. The people think that they are free, but if you are making every single decision, if you are on the top of any decision, if you are on the top of all the responsibilities, you are also not free. The most of the sleepless nights is coming to you as a boss, as an owner, as a CEO. So you're not free. And the decisions, the top decisions comes to you. You are not free. Yes, you have a big room with a great table that everybody is coming to you. It's great for your ego, but you are not free. Ego is a big prison. So nobody is free. So the freedom was always a big value for me, I guess.
Thanks a lot for sharing. And we also have another question in the chat, which is maybe really, I think we are counting a lot on the new generations that are coming, and maybe this is addressing this a little bit as well. And there is Gina who writes, I have a wonderful daughter too. Are you raising your daughter to be self-managed, and how are you introducing the concept to her? So how do we give that forward also, what you're sharing with us here, and also the mindset and all these kind of things? How do we do that?
Yeah. Actually, this is an amazing question. So I have like half an hour answer for that, but I'll try to keep it very simple, because this is my hidden agenda question. Because my hidden agenda within all this transformation, with all the success that I am trying to achieve, is to change for the future. Yes, for sure. For my daughter, I'm trying to change her mindset and trying to give her this idea. So when I talk about Latro, I tell her, Latro is not yours. Yes, I'm your father. Yes, I'm just the founder of Latro, but Latro is not yours. So if you want to be part, if you want to take anything in the Latro, you got to work, and you got to be accepted by the people inside the Latro who runs Latro. So the self-management is the very important mindset for my idea, that if we can bring to future, then the future of the world will be, saved. Again, I'm coming to the big problems of the world. Why we have these issues with the poor people in some areas and rich people in some other countries? Because we don't have the collective approach. Because why we have wars? Why there is wars in the world? Because we have very hierarchical decision making in the countries, that some top people, when they don't get along, they just do this. So yes, my daughter, and in her age, everybody has to believe in self-management, not because of the companies, not because of commercial activities, but because if they want a good future for them. If they are willing to live in a world with 10 billion people, maybe in their time it will be 10 billion, I don't know. If they want to work, when they live in that world happily ever after, then they need to understand they got to find solutions to problems collectively, without someone is giving orders to someone else. The leaders are going to be there. I'm not against leaders. The natural leaders are always a need. We always need people to step up. So in Latro, there are natural leaders, but not the ones being chosen, the ones who really put their best effort with their skills. They become a natural leader. So in the world, there's going to be always natural leaders, but no more. So yes, to my daughter, every single day, I give an example of the benefits of believing in people, trusting in people, being transparent, and believing in collectiveness.
Thanks a lot for sharing also this great question. I really liked it to also see, so what's coming next. I mean, we are looking around us, maybe where are we in the companies, what we are doing, but it's also what is the next generation doing, which is very interesting. And
yeah, in companies, what we are doing, sorry, but in companies, what we are doing has, I think, should be a hidden agenda again, a big purpose. And that purpose has to change the world. Because again, with this self-management, if you grow your company 10 times, 100 times, 2,000 times, that doesn't create the value. You may live rich, which is great, which I believe it's perfect. I'm not against it, but it doesn't change anything. We have to try to change the people's mindset so that as countries, as governments, as people, as 8 billion people, different religions, different backgrounds, different colors, we have to learn how to live together collectively. We have to make decisions collectively. We have to move with the collective mindset.
and I think it's nice to see that there are also different starting points and where you can start with these, working on the mindset and bringing more and more waves out there. So it could be you just work for yourself on your inner self and all the things, work on your own ego and mindset where you see I'm struggling, but then also like the inspiration that you give us in a company level, because I'm quite sure it's not just the company where you have the impact, but it's also maybe that the employees bring that back to their families and friends and they learn about it and they get inspired. So I think it can have very different starting points. More people, some people like it in the big environment, going to politics and changing things. Others do it just for themselves or in their family or in the company. And I think this is also beauty on the different people that we are. We all have a different access to it and can kind of support that in different ways.
Exactly. Yes, that's what's happening, and that's what I believe. If you live self-management in a company, you don't go here to do hierarchy in your family. So I think it expands to, and that's the real value actually. And I always believe the big changes comes from the industry or companies, or it's always like this last 200, 300 years. So I hope, again, with Frederick Laloux's approach, this big change can start from companies, because I don't see it's coming from politics.
So that's success that you have chosen to go for, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not coming from them for sure. And again, I don't blame, or I don't think they are wrong, because it is the way. Again, what we are facing in the world today is not the reason; it is the result of who we are. So, as 8 billion people, our management style, the politicians or the governments, is just a mirror of us. So I don't blame on anyone. It is us. Like I always say that in Turkey, I have seen this a lot. We were complaining, like a couple of owners come together. We were, like in a table eating and discussing about that. We have to change the management style, like in the politics, because like there is always one-man show all over the world, all over the departments, and we have discussing this. But the next day, everybody is going to their own company and become the same what they are complaining about in their company. They are acting to their employees the same.
It's kind of a change somehow.
Yeah. So I don't blame on anybody. Again, we have to change from the ground. We have to change from zero.
Yeah. And maybe looking back, coming back to the transformation that you did in Latro, what was more like, you were saying you kind of had a roadmap. What were like the key milestones that you looked at when you tried to transform there?
It all starts with the culture. So let me put the steps. It all comes with the culture. Culture means, again, the purpose, values, and principles. So together with the team, with everyone, we define our culture. We define that how we are, what values are going to guide us. What is the North Star for us? What is the purpose for us? What principles are gonna keep us together? So the culture is the first step, I guess, and then by the way, parallelly, the soft skills. We have to explain people the consciousness. We have to increase the consciousness level of the people. So the soft skills has to given the conflict management together, or feedback culture. So these are the soft skills that we have tried to explain or give to people, and then define the teams, what the teams can do, what is their power, define the process, like how they gonna come together, how they make their process, how they calculate their process, make sure that there is a very clear dashboard that they can really see everything, the radical transparency. So we make the transparency high and high and high every single day. And at the end, we close the loop with the income model. Again, it's coming to sharing. So when we give these responsibilities, when we bring this self-management, then we have to say, okay, we need to share. So do we bring the income model means that the net profit of the company is being shared with the people inside. Yeah, so these are the steps that we took.
Main steps. And how does, you're still the founder, right? So I think sometimes this can also be challenging to be somehow still you're the founder. Is there some natural leadership there, or how does your role look now in the company, and maybe also compared to when you started? So what has changed for you as a founder?
Again, the big change is now I'm more free. I'm definitely more free. So I got my freedom, and before the change, I was kind of like the CEO or the owner or the general manager of the company. Again, the company was not hierarchical, but still I had that title, and I had this big room with this big table and everything. So today, I'm like almost completely out of the company, because when I had my freedom, I wanted to work for something else. So now with my other two co-founders, who were also in this transformation that I was in the beginning of our speech, I was talking about, 3 of us, now we are working to build a platform, again, for bringing companies to more collaborative work, more collective work. And in Latro, my role become like a coach, like a mentor, whenever they need. So they sometimes call me for their strategy meeting, or they just call me, we have the situation, what would you do? So the questions has changed. What we should do has been changed to what would you do? So this 2 question is the biggest change in my life. What we should do is a very big question, keeps me in the prison, makes me feel good, but with a huge big responsibility to me, and that's wrong. And now it's great question. What would you do if you were in this situation? So I'm a mentor. So they just using my experience or my mind or me, and it's just another input for them, not a decision maker. And with my new baby, Hoodle, the name is Hoodle, by the way, our new platform. It is an asynchronous meeting platform, because we, again, try to free people. Freedom is my life, I guess. We try to free people from their time on the meetings. We find the meetings, back-to-back meetings, is all over the world. It's a huge, big problem. And we say, okay, now with the remote work, we can free people physically. They can work from home or from cafe, whatever. But for time, we still couldn't free people, even though now it's worse, because everybody's online. We have more back-to-back meetings. So with our platform, we are now building it that the companies, the people can do meetings asynchronously, not at the same time, but everybody will contribute on their own time and consume the contribution on their own time. So this gives me freedom. Now I am learning new stuff. Now I become a founder of a new software startup. and I'm really enjoying. So sometimes the people get wrong that I did this because that I can go and do more kite surfing. It didn't work like that. I started to create more things. I didn't know that, but yeah, it didn't work out like that. I started to create, so my creation power increased.
I
Like,
see.
the freedom is great. Yeah,
but it's not like that you do it with, like, that you fill it with things that you have thought that you would fill it, but it's with new things popping up, making it even better, getting more freedom for more people. And this is, I think, also an interesting thing to hear, because I think this experience, many people have, like all the people who, I don't know, got financially free or these kind of things, they're all sharing the same story, that it's not that they just lie down and do nothing, but they still need a purpose, they still need something to do, and it's that they even get more active with this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And again, this freedom helped me this way, and the freedom helped the we call them explorers in Latro, by the way, help explorers in Latro also be more innovative, be more creative. So today I can easily see the projects coming out from Latro, the things that they are working on is so creative and so innovative, because freedom, moving the hierarchy, moving the bureaucracy out of the door gives you an amazing big area of freedom, comes with innovation and creativeness. So we always try to bring this innovation. We talk about innovation, we talk about creatives and everything. But what we are missing is the creative mindset, and the innovative mindset comes with freedom. And as long as you have a deep hierarchical level in your organization, they will not come. It doesn't matter what you do, innovation tables, innovation teams, chief innovation officers, it's not going to work as well. For my
it doesn't help to be just on paper in that way. And was there any moment during these couple of years now where you said, oh, I got nervous, it was not running as well maybe in the company, I got nervous that they will, that it will all go down and I have to somehow do something and step in? And did you have a situation where you had this feeling, and what did you do, or what would you do? Like, what is your thinking about that?
First of all, the situation was not very good always. I had big fears, but things got not as deep as you were describing. So I never thought that it's all gonna go zero. Thanks God, I never thought that. But many times I was very nervous. Are we making a mistake? Why had this happened? Should we do something? Because it is life. Not everything went well. We had good times, we have bad times, we have good decisions, we change our decisions. But I'm again lucky, I guess, because I had this big belief on people. I never felt that, oh God, I'm gonna lose everything. Never come to that point. Because I always believed, yes, this is wrong, but I think the people are gonna change it. This is wrong. Okay, what I can do, let me talk to them, show that this is wrong, but I'm sure they will change it. So the belief, the trust is always there. And it's still there, I mean. And again, it's not a new one. 44 years now, I don't know how many years I've been like that, but as far as I remember, I was always believing in people.
Thanks for sharing. And we also got the information here from a Latro Explorer in the chat that you also started working with some schools on self-management. Anything you would like to share about that?
Yes. What the schools means, I think the now a lot of universities or schools are calling us to explain this self-management to their executive levels or in their normal levels, that they are asking us to explain this and show this possible by telling the story of Latro. So now it seems like the new generation is quite suitable for our mindset. And when it is seen by the schools, they're calling us to there. And also in the companies, it seems like the companies are realizing the way of being successful is coming from taking decisions or actions more collectively. So they are trying to go in the direction of agile management. They try to take their decisions collectively. So that's maybe one of the reasons why they are making this many of meetings, why we have so many meetings, because now it's being more understood by people, by companies, that there needs to be a less hierarchy. And that's a very good news. So the world is going in the correct direction.
Yeah, I think that's also what I sense, that kind of the younger generations, also when I was working at university, they are striving for this. They will not want the same way of working that we had for 40 years or so. It's changing, because they want something different for whatever reason, but it's somehow the evolution that I also see. Thanks for sharing. One question that was also in my mind, I mean, looking at Teal, reinventing organizations, we have the 3 pillars of purpose, wholeness, and self-management. And maybe a question that is also around, is just a utopia? Is this something that is not reachable? So how close do you feel kind of that we have reached this really living up to this Teal concept? Or is it also, because sometimes in my mind, it's not something to reach, it's just something like for a journey to go. What is your perspective on that?
I mean, I can answer from my point, like from Latro point of view, and the Teal organization as being explained in the book. I think Latro is very close. I mean, it is very, again, it sounds very egoist or like I don't know how to explain. I need to find the correct words so that I don't really like myself.
I see.
I mean, let me give you some examples and you tell me how close we are. Again, they make their own salary decision. They can see everything radically. We don't have any sales targets, no KPI, no OKRs, no performance management or performance system that we measure the people's performance. So I'm not sure, but we have when we set up our purpose, we said it is evolutionary, and even start from now, we talk about if our purpose can be changed. So as a Teal organization, according to my understanding, according to the book that I understood, I think we are quite a good example of a Teal organization. But again, I'm not sure what is missing, but from the radical hierarchy, radical transparency point of view, it is there. I mean, from the purpose, from the, like we are close from that. But in the world, I can also see it's going very good that day by day, more people are coming to this direction. But I don't know, like how close we are to be a Teal. But I don't think it is the very important thing. If we are moving to this direction together, I think we achieve what we need to.
Yeah, I think so too.
Being a Teal is good, but it is not something that the target should be. The target should be how we can be better, how we can trust people more, how we can include people more, how we can make people happy more, how we can share what we earn, how we can, be more collective. I think as much as we go up, how we can reduce the bureaucracy, get rid of hierarchy. As much as we go up, then that is the goal. Then we are doing okay, for my opinion.
No, I really like what you're saying, and also seeing that it's not just Teal, it's holacracy, like all the other frameworks and things that are happening. And like what relaxes me or calms me is like it's somehow showing on in the same direction, right? It has similar foundation somehow. The core is there, and I think that's actually the beauty. So everybody can kind of pick whatever fits best for them to go on that journey and find the first steps going there. And I think that's just beautiful to see that it's all heading in the same direction, and that hopefully helps us individually, but also as you're mentioning the things that are going on the world to address those problems.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm just hoping that what we have started in Latro with the results will inspire people, will inspire the companies around us. And then the people in that companies will be inspired from their companies and apply it in their families, in their decisions. And if this can go big and big and big, then it will come all the way to how we manage us, how we think the world's problems. And then I think that will be a real value. That's my opinion. And again, don't take me wrong, that all the things that I am explaining to you, I don't mean that everybody should be equal. I'm saying that everybody should be titleless. Everybody should be positionless. So nobody is ruling to anyone, but everybody is not equal. Yes, there are some people more talented. There are some people, they work more. There are people, they really, have great skills. So if they need to step up and lead it, yes, they should. Just like we call ourselves explorers in Latro. So in exploration, let's think you explore a forest. There is someone in the front, for sure. There are one or two people in the front. But the good thing is, it can change according to the skills, according to the time. It is not that person makes decision for everything. When they stop, another person can make a decision for where to sleep. Another person make a decision what to eat. So in this system, the problem is the person who is leading in the forest comes and makes the decision what to eat, and makes a decision where to sleep, and makes a decision. That's the wrong thing for my opinion.
It's shared. Thanks.
And the others are not taking any responsibility from the other part. Yeah.
Suppose constellation. Thanks a lot. I'm seeing that our time is slowly running out, so this hour went very fast. I really enjoyed our conversation. Really, thanks a lot for giving all these insights and sharing also from your story and how you see the things. For everyone who's curious what events are coming up in future from Life Sciences, and I also saw, Haluk, that we will meet again at Teen Around the World, actually, because I will be hosting your session, so we will see each other there again, which is really cool. And I think before that we have another 2 living room conversations as well. So one with Frederic Laloux next week already, and then Keith McCandless as well on 22nd of February. So really cool things coming up. Just take your phone, take the QR code, and then you can register for those things. And if you want to hear more from Haluk, you can actually also join a Teen Around the World, so that you can get some more insights and also more space, I think, for questions we would have here. And before we close, I would hand over the word back to you, Haluk, if you have any closing words before we close the session.
My closing words will be, I need everyone's praise for what's happening in Turkey. Thanks that from all over the world, we are receiving a lot of helps. The people are helping, financial help, and it's great that we are good as humanity. I always believe in this one. We just need to be more collective, and yes, just we need your prayer for the people who are now still under their houses, trying to survive. We have a lot of people which is having very difficult time, even though they are alive, but it is difficult for them to get some simple minimum life needs. And hopefully we can get over this situation quickly. And yeah, the life is continuing, but we have to get our lessons from these big disasters. And I'm hoping all of us will get the lesson that as 8 billion people, we are living in the same place, and it's not that big. It's a simple, small world. We have to understand that nobody is over anybody else. Nobody is more important than anybody else. We just have to be together.
Thanks a lot, Haluk, for these closing words and for joining our session today. And also thanks a lot for everybody who listened in here. Thanks. Have an awesome afternoon.
Thank you.